In this video, I'm going to be talking about
night terror,
or, by its Latin name,
PAVOR NOCTURNUS.
At least I think it's its Latin name. It sounds Latin to me, but what do I know? Now, as a disclaimer, I'm obviously not a doctor, nor am I an expert on this subject. I've never been to a doctor or spoken to a professional of any sort about my own experiences with night terror. In fact, most of what I do know about night terror, and as to my own experiences with night terror, comes from secondary sources who have told me about my own experiences. Also, from subsequent research into the subject I did to learn about what it is that I experience and possible reasons as to why. Night terror, not to be confused with nightmare. Night terror, also known as sleep terror, is a sleep disorder causing feelings of terror or dread, and typically occurs during the first hours of stage 3 to 4 non-rapid eye movement, NREM sleep. Night terrors tend to happen during periods of arousal from delta sleep, also known as slow wave sleep. Delta sleep occurs most often during the first half of a sleep cycle, which indicates that people with more delta sleep activity are more prone to night terrors. However, they can also occur during daytime naps. Night terrors have been known since ancient times, although it was impossible to differentiate them from nightmares until rapid eye movement was discovered. So a distinguishing feature of night terror is that during the episode, people are utterly inconsolable. A person in such a state cannot be spoken to or comforted. And in fact, it is often dangerous for a spouse or family member to intervene. Most people are unable to explain what happened the next day, and they often have no memory of the event when they wake up the next morning. This is true. I wouldn't even know that I've had these episodes if, like I said, it weren't for secondary sources telling me. But remarkably, and totally unlike a nightmare, it's very easy for a person to fall back asleep after an episode. For me, one of the first instances that I can recall someone telling me about, I was dating this girl who everyone will remain nameless in this video, and the next morning she told me that during the night I was talking in my sleep and that most of it was mumbling, and I've heard that I've done that plenty of times too. But she did hear me say, "Everybody, get out your yellow suits, let's dance." So that was one of the first times that anyone has really told me about anything that I said in my sleep. Now, I've had, obviously, the only time that I'll know if this is occurring is if there's someone else in the room or in the general vicinity of where I'm sleeping that hears it and tells me about it the next day, or I'd have no clue. I never knew that I did this until people started telling me. And then the more people that told me, the more I started to think about it and look into it and wondering why it was occurring, what were the causes. So, yeah, I mean, generally, if I was dating someone and I was sleeping over her house or her at my house, and the next day she would tell me about it, is one way I know. Or if I'd crash at a friend's place, say from a night out where, we just ended up staying out too late to go home, being unable to make it home or having no reason to go home at that ungodly hour. So I'd crash at a friend's house. And on a few instances, I was told that it sounds as if at night I'm being ghost raped, because apparently I'd make these no sounds. No, 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 no. It's amusing, even though it's not a funny thing in general. I mean, but no one here gets hurt, so I guess it is amusing. So that was one of many instances of a similar experience that I was told about. Another experience I had, I've worked as a scenic designer doing, let's just say, large-scale, very well-known Christmas windows. And one year working with this company, we had this old Civil War style building out in Red Hook, Brooklyn, where we worked. And on the weekends, which that time was when I was working with them, a few of the guys were from, upstate, out of state. So they had sort of created little rooms in the warehouse with air mattresses, and, a few people would spend the night there, maybe live there during the course of the job. And I'd go there on the weekend to work, and I'd stay the entire weekend. So one night after work, we'd gone out drinking, local bars in the area, and we'd go back to the warehouse, and we all retired to our separate spaces. The next morning, I woke up, and I remember, doing one of these kind of, oh, what a good night's sleep I had last night. Feel so good and refreshed. When not a minute later, I heard a few of the other guys talking. Did you hear Christopher last night? Did you hear him? Yeah, I heard him. I tried shutting him up. And then I realized I must have been having some night terror episode. And apparently I was moaning and yelling and making all sorts of noises. And they'd come over and try to, kick at my mattress or tell me to shut up. I'm dead to the world at this point. So that was another time where I was told. I started to wonder if it is alcohol related. Honestly, I still can't find conclusive evidence that it is or isn't. I think it is, at least to some degree. Maybe it's brought out further because of drinking. All right, so here I'm going to read off a list of what's called parasomnia, different types of variations of these sleep disorders related to and or night terror-ish. So, parasomnia. Parasomnias are a category of sleep disorders that involve abnormal movements, behaviors, emotions, perceptions, and dreams that occur while falling asleep, sleeping, between sleep stages, or during arousal from sleep. Most parasomnias are dissociated sleep states, which are partial arousals during the transition between wakefulness and NREM sleep, or wakefulness and REM sleep. So, I guess I'm going to read just a couple that I've personally experienced. Now, this has only happened once to me that I can recall, where I actually woke myself up out of one of these states and realized what was going on, and then quickly went back to sleep, but actually remembered it the next day. So I'm going to read what they have here on Wikipedia: confusional arousals. Confusional arousal has a prevalence of 4% in adults and is common in children. Confusional arousal is a condition when an individual awakens from sleep and remains in a confused state. It is characterized by the individual's partial awakening and sitting up to look around. They usually remain in bed and then return to sleep. These episodes last anywhere from seconds to minutes and may not be reactive to stimuli. Confusional arousals are not considered dangerous. Now, in my case, I've heard about it happening where it would seem like I was awake, but I wasn't, and they would talk to me, and I might answer them back. It might just be mumbo jumbo, or I might not even be aware that they're asking me at all. But so then they got sleep terrors here, which is, essentially night terrors. Sleep terror is the most disruptive arousal disorder since it may involve loud screams and panic. In extreme cases, it may result in bodily harm or property damage by running about or hitting walls. I've never done any of that stuff. All attempts to console the individual are futile and may prolong or intensify the victim's confused state. Usually the victim experiences amnesia after the event, but it may not be complete amnesia. Now, this one I was aware of for a while from being told about it. Also, doctors, dentists, noticing it. Teeth grinding, or the scientific name, bruxism, B-R-U-X-I-S-M. Bruxism is a common sleep disorder where the individual grinds their teeth during sleep. This can cause sleep disruption for the individual and also the bed partner. Grinding can wear and fracture the teeth. Apparently mine are worn. That's how the doctors can tell, the dentist. Fractured, not so much, and also causes severe jaw pain. I don't have that so much. Or says it could lead to migraines. I don't really experience those, not yet. Teeth impairment, temporomandibular joint disorder, and other complications. Many are not aware of their teeth grinding. Bruxism can sometimes be managed by being fitted with a night guard. It is advisable to see a licensed doctor, blah, 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 blah. Teeth grinding, that's probably pretty regular for me, and I think I mumble kind of frequently in my sleep. Now, one that I wasn't aware of that I had done, but I've had a couple experiences with, well, one definite experience is sleepwalking. Now, this happens a lot rarer than at least that I'm aware of. I'm not going to get into reading the whole sleepwalking description because I don't feel like it. It's called somnambulism is the scientific name for sleepwalking. I will tell a story, maybe a little embarrassing. I was staying over a girl who I was dating for a short period of time. She had this little studio apartment, and the sleeping quarters were sort of in the center of the apartment, and the bathroom was off to one corner, and the front entrance was kind of the opposite corner of the bathroom. And on one night that I spent there, apparently, we had gone out. We drank a lot that night, I think. And so I guess I was trying to go to the bathroom during the nighttime. And so, like I said, the bathroom was in one corner, the front door was the other corner, and I had gotten up and went to the bathroom, and I don't know how long it was, but she came and she started shaking me and trying to, calling me, yelling, "Hey, stop, stop." Apparently, I wasn't awake. I was sleepwalking. And now this happens a lot where you get up and people go and do normal things. Like they go to the refrigerator and start eating. They go and wash dishes.
More conventional sleepwalkers can easily perform mechanical actions they carry out repetitively every day. This woman may look as though she is awake, but in fact, she is sleepwalking. She has roused, gone into her kitchen, and raided her fridge all in her sleep.
Well, I was going to the bathroom, except this is where the little embarrassing part gets, because I was butt naked at the time as well. Instead of going into the bathroom, I went out the front door into the hallway. Now, luckily, this is an apartment building, so I wasn't outside, but I was in a hallway, butt naked. Well, you get the picture from there. And she was trying to wake me up and snap me out of it and yell and call my name. And it took a while. Eventually she did. And I was in one of those confused arousal, what's going on kind of states. And she told me what was going on. And, well, long story short, the next day it was something to laugh about. But I had no idea. I didn't even remember the next day until I was reminded and told about it. So, yeah, there you go. That's my my sleepwalking toilet story for you. Night terror. Yeah, that's my experience with night terror.
What we're doing here is really defining a third area of being. We're saying there's sleep, there's waking, and there's something that is in between that is not dreaming.
So it is a weird phenomena, but it makes you wonder some things that can cause these. What is it? Are these proverbial demons? Are they experiences? You know, I'm not trying to turn this into something different than what it is, but it just makes you think of, like, what goes on when you sleep. What is dreaming really? Just like, what is the subconscious? What are things like afterlife, near-death experiences? You know, having experiences of past lives. Could this stuff kind of be tied together? Is there any chance we're experiencing different realms? I don't know. That's just a thought on the subject. But it could be caused, it could be psychological, it could be brought on from alcohol and drinking. I don't know. Anyway, honestly, I don't even know the last time I had an experience of night terror, for a couple of reasons. I don't drink anywhere near the amount that I drank before. I mean, I hardly drink anymore. I spent just about all of last year not drinking at all. And also during that time, I haven't really had a girlfriend, so there's been no one that would be able to tell me during the night while I'm sleeping if I've experienced having night terror. So right now I don't know if I'm experiencing them at all. If I am, then it's not alcohol related. But if I'm not, and I do ever happen to drink to that point again, which I seriously doubt it, to tell you the truth, but if I do, and then I have an episode of night terror, well, then I know it's related. Until then, I just don't know. If you have similar experiences or know someone that has similar experiences, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. If you got anything out of this video, if you enjoyed it at all, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to my channel here. And until the next time, that's it. I'm out of here.